This is by far my favorite topic. Everybody knows me knows I love real estate, but why real estate? Why do we care about real estate? Why I could go invest in the stock market? I could go do this. I could go do that. Right? What are the reasons to invest in real estate? Number one, inflation. Inflation is an ugly word that I think a lot of us have realized and seen over the years. Groceries going up, everything's going up. You know what else goes up? Rent. Right? Real estate is a hedge against inflation. Real estate goes up over time along with inflation. Inflation is the friend of the asset holder, and it's the enemy of anyone who's not holding an asset. If you do not hold an asset that hedges against inflation, you are in trouble. Assets like real estate, stocks and bonds, gold, cryptocurrency. These are things that I like. And I particularly like real estate because not only does it's an inflationary hedge, it also gives you a dividend return every month called rent. And that's why I would really, really love it. The next one, potential for passive or semi-passive income. Raise your hand if you like to make money in your sleep. Rental income is just like a dividend yielding stock. You can make money just by owning an asset, even if it doesn't go up in value. But as we all know, real estate does go up in value. Another one, appreciation / inflation. Again, I got it on here twice because real estate does go up. It does go up. A lot of people always knock me like, well, Najee, I couldn't buy properties the way you bought properties. You bought it back in the day. Yeah, I did. And guess what it did? It went up. I got quite a few properties in my portfolio under 50 grand that I bought. They're worth 250 now. That's real, no cap. That's why we love it. One of the most important advantages of real estate is this thing called leverage. Now, leverage, typically, a lot of people look at leverage as an ugly word, right? But in real estate, it allows you to control an asset that you could not control otherwise. It allows you to control a certain value for a little amount of money, okay? We typically borrow money in the real estate game. In real estate transactions, leverage occurs when a mortgage is used to reduce the amount of capital that the investor really needs. When you buy a $100,000 property, you're typically putting 0 to 20% down. You're not buying all of it cash. Typically, you can, but this is not taking on the power of leverage. But when you go buy a stock, you have to buy the whole thing. If you spend $100,000 on a stock, you have to buy the whole stock. Now, why is this important? Because it's important when you talk about leverage is a key component to increasing your return on investment. If you put 20% down on a $100,000 property, that's only 20 grand you had to come up with. If the value was raised by 10% or 10 grand, you got a 50% return on your money. 50% return on money, not 10%. 10% is on the asset. The return on your money is 50% because you're gonna put 20% down. With that stock, it's only 10%. This is the power of leverage and why I love it. The next favorite word is equity. I love hearing the word equity. Equity is the difference between what your property is worth today and how much you owe. Equity is real. It's not just paper money. It's like having a hidden ATM machine. And that's why I call this class ATM machine. You can go back to it over and over and over again. Today, I'm going to teach you how to go get some of that ATM money and how to access that ATM money. Again, it's not what you bought it for. It is what it's worth today because appreciation happens, and it's worth what you owe because you paid some money down or the tenant has paid the money down for you. I love the idea of being able to increase my retirement income with someone else's money. Let me say that again. You ever heard of somebody investing in your 401k and putting the money in for you along with the company match? What if it was 100%? Most of us only got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% company match. What if it was 100% company match? That's what rent is in this situation. And we love it. We love it. My next favorite word is control. Again, go back to the stock conversation. Have you ever met the CEO of the stock that you bought? Have you ever sat on the board of directors? Do you know the board of directors? Do you control anything about the company? When you jump on a company call, are they going to allow you to speak? Do they care about your input? You can go work for a company and still don't have a say so in the strategy. The answer is no. They don't care what you have to say. They don't care about your opinion. Go get the business card if you care about the opinion. One of the most unique and attractive things about real estate is that you can control the improvement. You can improve it. You can dictate how to raise the value or frankly lower the value. Dismanage your property, you'll lower the value. Manage your property, you'll raise the value. Because real estate is a tangible asset made of wood, brick, concrete, real things. You can put some Elk Grove grease in there. You can put some sweat equity in there. You can hire somebody to improve this thing. You can paint it. You can put floors in. You can put painting in there. You can put new siding, new roofs, a new kitchen, a new bath. You can do these things. You can also manage the property better. You can do a long-term rent. You can put it on Section 8. You can do a group home. You can do a short-term rental. These things also increase the value of the property because these things improve the income. That's control that you have. And in very few assets, you're able to control with leverage. Very, very big, very, very powerful word that we have to understand how to use. The next is the obvious, is the tax benefits. Now, look, I'm not a tax professional. I'm not your CPA. Go get your own CPA and legal advice. I'm not here to give you tax advice whatsoever. However, there are tax advantages. One of the big tax advantages is one, a lower capital gains tax on real estate versus ordinary income. It allows you to deduct normal expenses that you can't do as a regular property owner. Rental property, you can deduct expenses. If you want to redo your kitchen on a personal house, you don't get to deduct that. If you do it on a rental property, you do. These deductions can offset your income and reduce your overall tax liability. There are other more complex tax advantages, like a 1031 exchange. That's huge, meaning you can, when you sell your rental property, you can exchange it with the like-kind investment and pay no taxes. So you can level yourself up without paying taxes. That's big. It's one of the most powerful tax tools in the tax code. Depreciation, which is a non-cash expense permitted by the tax code that depreciates the value of the property. I thought it went up over time, OJ. It does, but on paper, you get to depreciate the value of the property because there's certain things in the property that go old over time, and the IRS gives you credit for it. Like your refrigerator ain't gonna last for 5 to 10 years. Your floor ain't gonna last for so long. Carpet ain't gonna last so long. Paint on the wall ain't gonna last so long. Your roof ain't gonna last so long. So there's a lot of things that may not last but so long, and the IRS will let you depreciate these things over 27 and a half years before it even goes bad. So this is money that you have not spent, but you still get the deduction. Big, 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 big. Go talk to your tax professional. Lastly, big advantage is that we're on the path of financial freedom, right? It's one of the only and few ways that ordinary Americans, people that can grow up for nothing. Myself, I'm a child of a single parent, had 4 kids by herself. And I'm able to use this as a tool to change my life. Not just change my life, it's changed my family's life, my extended family's life. My kids, their lives are completely different than mine. This is big. This is, and whatever it is, it could be financial freedom. It could be this. You could be by yourself or whatever it is. Real estate is one of the few ways in America left that you can change your life.